Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
Philadelphia tonight. 2 teenagers have been shot, one at least 15 times. It's the latest shooting and a recent spike of gun violence in the city. Action News reporter Dan Cuellar is live at Temple Hospital in North Philadelphia, where the teenagers are being treated at this hour. Dan.
Rick, Philadelphia police were on the scene at 11th and Cambridge where the 2 15-year-olds were shot. According to police, it happened at around 8:45 tonight. They say one 15-year-old was shot 17 times. This is the new number, 17 times throughout the body. They have no idea how he is alive, but they rushed him to Temple, here at Temple University, where he is unstable. The second 15-year-old male was shot once in the left leg. He was transported by police to Jefferson. No word yet on a motive, no arrest, and no weapons recovered. Meanwhile, data collected by Action News shows the daily shootings in Philadelphia have surged since the end of May and showing no signs of slowing down. This raising alarms among anti-violence groups and others. The disturbing data analyzed by Action News shows that 117 people have been shot in Philadelphia since June 1st, or for the past 3 weeks. Since the year began, nearly 800 people have been shot. That's a 24% increase from the year before, and no one seems to be immune from it. Recently, Philadelphia Police Inspector DERRICK Wood's Twitter feed was trending, speaking for himself and not the department, pointing out that he lost his own nephew in the growing wave of gun violence that seems to get worse each year recently.
Every year they're going higher and higher, so we had to do something before it goes back to how it was in the early 90s, where we're getting 500 homicides a year.
Stanley Crawford is with the Black Male Community Council, an anti-violence nonprofit in Philadelphia. He's noticed another disturbing trend in Philadelphia. He says many of the murders and shootings go unsolved.
If I was in the murdering business, Philadelphia is a great town to be in, because if I got 65% chance of getting away, this is a great spot to be in.
Crawford lost his own son, William, to gun violence in 2018. One of 353 people killed that year. It wasn't until recently that police revealed that William was one of 4 people killed by a contract killer they had just recently arrested. Crawford points out the disturbing rise in shootings comes at a time when the city is cutting millions from the police budget.
The extreme of defunding and the police is not rational. You see what I'm saying? We need them like they need us.
For his part, Wood wished the Black Lives Matter movement would take a stand in the rising gun violence.
I think that in this movement, I would love to see the same energy that we have for ending racism, police brutality, and police reform, be putting also into some of this gun violence.
By the way, Philadelphia homicides also on the rise, 21% as of midnight. We reached out to the police department, but there was no immediate response from the police administration to the data on the disturbing rise in shootings and homicides across the city. We're live here at Temple University. I'm Temple University Hospital. I'm Dan Cuellar, Channel 6, Action News.
Philadelphia are hoping new video could help them find a killer. This is footage from a security camera along the 400 block of West Venango Street from Wednesday, where you see a black Toyota Avalon pull up next to a white car. Seconds later, a gunman gets out of the back seat and fires right into that vehicle at point-blank range, killing the man who was in the driver's seat. Police are still looking for a motive. If you have any information about this murder, Homicide detectives
A
want to hear
man
from
who the
you.
Philadelphia district attorney calls a contract killer is facing new charges. Stephen Williams is now charged with 4 counts of murder, conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Authorities say he collected thousands of dollars as a killer for hire over the past 2 years. Williams is accused in ambush-style shootings of 4 victims in Francisville, Ronhurst.
25-year-old Stephen Williams is under arrest for deadly violence that unfolded between September 2018 and May of 2019. Back in February, police had released surveillance video of a black sedan seen at 2 crime scenes. Williams allegedly killed 2 people in West Oak Lane and 1 each in Ronhurst and East Mount Airy.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mob ties. We on our way to Pennsylvania with it. Philadelphia. Y'all already know. Seems like a minute since we been here, but we back. Y'all get in the comment box, let it be known, real shit. Now, today, we on some scary movie shit. And we are going to be covering a guy by the name of Stephen Williams. Now, a little bit about Stephen Williams. He's the one that they're going to go to with a bag, and they're going to put it on your head. So just be careful. Now, before we get into the details about Stephen Williams, I'm going to talk a little bit about Philadelphia. And even this year, as you've seen, as 2021, shootings are up on the rise. But last year, 2020, at one point in time, they were trending for a mark that was going to leave them on pace for the most murders since 2007, when it was 391 people killed, and that was even with the coronavirus lockdown. Now that the lockdown has been lifted in a lot of cities, Philadelphia, I think, being one of them, with most of the restrictions being lifted, niggas is out to play. You know, pistols is on deck. So with that being said, authorities are pretty much one detective or a source within law enforcement told a media outlet that they believe that William belonged to a group of contract killers. You can go to somebody in that group and say, hey, I want so-and-so dead. And before you know it, the deed is done. Now, that's pretty much the angle that they're tracking. And as far as how they got on to Williams, because, well, he was actually incarcerated in SCI Mahoney, a state correctional facility, and he was awaiting trial for separate charges. I think some of the charges included trespassing, simple assault, reckless endangerment, and those are based on his court records. Now, the district attorney of Philadelphia officially charged Williams with 4 counts of murder, conspiracy, hindering apprehension, possession, an instrument of crime, reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, obstruction with justice, and related weapons charges. So he's pretty much facing a slew of charges, not to mention the fact that authorities suspect him in more than the 4 murders that he's currently charged with. Now, they're going to say he murdered a guy by the name of William Crawford, another guy by the name of Jermaine Simmons, another guy by the name of Richard Isaac, and lastly, a guy by the name of Leslie Carroll. Now, William Crawford was murdered on September 8th, 2018. According to the police, he was parking his car in front of a home on Hartshill Avenue, and he was approached by a man in a hooded sweatshirt. He was later found with multiple gunshot wounds on the sidewalk. Now, Jermaine Simmons, who was 39 years old, he was killed on February 10th, 2019. He was actually sitting in the car in front of his house According to police, 2 shooters pulled up in another vehicle and opened fire in the front and rear driver's seat, and he was found sitting in his car. He was pronounced dead after being taken to the hospital. Richard Isaac, he was shot while he was sitting on the porch on in the East Mount Erie neighborhood. The date as far as that homicide is unknown, but that's the 3rd homicide that Mr. Williams is actually charged with. And then the last is going to be Leslie Carroll, who was killed on May 4th, 2019. And he was also sitting in the vehicle. As witnesses told police, another man pulled up in another vehicle, opened fire on him, leaving him dead in the seat. Now, I looked for any kind of update as far as his trial date, as far as any new evidence that they have against him. The only thing that I could find actually was his case was going to be prosecuted by a guy by the name of Larry Krasner, who was actually a reform-focused DA. But based on the charges that he's facing, I don't think he's going to be thinking reformer. Definitely think he's going to be trying to put him away and throw the book at him. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, where we need to go. Salute to Philly. We going to be back. It's your boy Popalot. POP_ALOT. If y'all want to get at me on Instagram, on Twitter, y'all let me know who we need to cover, where we need to go. Y'all hit the bell to subscribe to know when this real trail spill shit is popping. And we're going to be back, man. It's your boy, the Mobb. Mobb ties.